members will join soon. So, if possible, please do keep your videos on all through the meeting so that it's more interactive and it is there's question and answers and all will be more as if a person is asking. So please try to keep your videos on as much as possible. Just reminding as to what are these meetings meant for, what is the purpose of BGSM. It is to come together to share ideas on how to grow our businesses and also to challenge each other on how we can grow our businesses 10x. So that's the purpose of these meetings. Typically, this happens on a Wednesday at 9 p.m. Of course, this being a New Year week, we just pushed it to Friday so that more members can attend. And we focus mainly on the pathfinder stage of business. That is somebody who's already crossed those initial few years of business and who are trying to find ways of growing their business, to find different methods of growing their business. So that's the major focus that we look at. And BGSM started about 5 years back, where two of my friends and I, we were going on a trek. I started asking questions on how do I grow my business. They were also from IT. I'm also from IT. So I had very specific questions for them. And then the 2 to 3 hours that we spent together was extremely helpful for me to take various strategic decisions in my business. So that's when we thought, okay, why don't we have these meetings regularly? And that's how this BGSM meeting started, where we try to ask questions to each other on how can I grow my business, what strategies can I adopt, and that's how all the topics, if you see, are all meant for strategic ways of growing business. There's nothing tactical here; it's all about strategic way of growing business. We have a portal called bacommunity.me where we you can register, you can search for other members, you can tell about your products and services. So all that, even we have forums over there. So all those things you can do in on that community. We also have a portal where you can set your goals and track your goals. It's like something that can motivate you to stay on track with anything. It could be a sales goal, it could be with respect to maybe your team size, or maybe even personal goals like maybe weight loss. I brought that up because brother Tim is going to speak on diet and all that, so I just told that. So again, today we'll be speaking on the individual, the business owner, because ultimately, like John C. Maxwell says, the business owner, the entrepreneur is the lead for the whole business. If the entrepreneur does not improve himself, then the organization itself does not grow. So we are again focusing on the individual. We have a WhatsApp group where you can share about your business. You can ask for referrals, give referrals. So if you're not part of that group, which is open for all, please let me know. I'll add you into that group because usually from the social media, I bring the members into a social media group which is restricted to the admin posting only, because sometimes people can come in and start posting unwanted things. So I first come there. So if you're not part of the everybody posting kind of a group, let me know. I'll add you into that. And so today we have Brother Tim speaking. Actually, it's a second version. It's a the first one we did a couple of weeks back, where he gave an introduction to the nourishment that the body needs and how we can use that for entrepreneurship. So since the topic was quite elaborate and it was too big to cover in one session, we decided halfway through that, okay, let's keep it for another session where he had some exciting things to cover, especially his personal journey and all that. So that's how we decided to keep it in this session. And a little bit background, as it is told there in his, if you look at his designation also, he is food technology consultant, not a nutrition consultant. So that's one disclaimer that he says, but I myself am telling it. And but since I knew him and I understood that he understands food, and one of the I would say pillars of an entrepreneur is the diet and health and food. I requested him, can you present something for the entrepreneur so that we all can take something away from it? So that's how this topic was, thought of, and we had a very good attendance last time, and many members had very interesting personal questions to ask. So we are having the second session right now. So that's the small introduction. The format is simple. So Brother Tim will be sharing certain topics from his end. And then we'll have an open discussion where each one of us can discuss, ask questions, specific questions. It will be an open discussion. And then towards the ending, we'll close with certain closing remarks and comments. So with that, over to you, Brother Tim.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Thomas. And I welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. Without any further delays, I'll quickly jump into the PowerPoint. And then as we go through, I'll give you a brief introduction and what we have spoken and presented last time. So we've started off this session, as Brother Thomas had said. I'm a food technologist in profession, and I do work in the food research and development. And in the path of journey, I still work on a lot of development of a lot of healthy products as well. So, and personally, my health journey, my weight loss journey, and everything put together to start focus more on how entrepreneurship have to travel along with a healthy practice of maintaining a self-care and the body. So that is how I started working on this. As Brother Thomas had said, I'm not a consultant for your diet. I'm a technologist, but I do suggest how things to go well with the entrepreneurs, so that entrepreneurs are the basic foundation of the business. So particularly when you lose yourself, the business really toils. I've come across a lot of people who have been successful in business, but because they have not maintained the health well, the businesses have been stumbling in the process. So that is how all these things have come into picture. So last time when I presented, I started giving a brief introduction about balanced diet, how the diet should be, the triangle I have presented to you all, and how the process should be. And I've also questioned about the audience about the balanced diet. So a lot of people said about balancing fiber, taking equal amount of carb and everything. But I've also given you some insights about carbohydrates must be 50 to 60% of your normal diet, proteins 15, fats 15, and dietary fibers followed by micronutrients. So these are some of the introductions I have given to you last time. And I've also given the sources of the simple complex carbohydrates, lean and fat source of protein, unsaturated and saturated source of fats, and the source of dietary fiber. Today is the very important part where I feel that we all have to start from. We have so many resources that is available online to see how we can maintain our diet and how to get the diet recommendations from the experts and all. But keeping into mind how do we put this into action is the main area of focus that we all should learn. Because being in an entrepreneurial journey, I've heard from a lot of people that they say that they don't have enough time to maintain the health, and they say that they have a lot of things to work in the business and focus more on the development of the business. But mostly, when you come to a point where you feel or you realize that the business is nothing without you, and that is when we look back and we have a lot of things to lose already. And so that is why I thought, we have to balance everything. We have to take things parallelly. Unless and otherwise you maintain yourself, there is no point, taking a business to a great success. So having the business in one hand, how do we still maintain our health, and how can this go parallelly is what that we are going to discuss today. So these are some of the points that I have come up with, personal experience as well as some scientific evidences. So this cycle I have presented to you, it's a repeated cycle. So how you monitor your projects or how you monitor your business growth is what I have taken. I have fixed this for your personal maintenance as well. The point number one is plan well for a sustainable diet practice. Sustainable diet practice is something that you can have, or you can do it for a prolonged time rather than doing it at a very short period of time. I know people, particularly when it comes for a new year, people start off with a diet and then, they try to do a lot of imposition at the kitchen, and they even put a lot of pressure to your mothers and wives to ask them to prepare separate diet for them to do it. But on the whole, 80 to 90%, it all ends up in a failure. It all stops at a point because it is an added pressure to the people who are working in the kitchen. So that is why I have made that to innovate ingredients and food along with my family. So we have made a decision that the food cannot be prepared in a two different manner. So right from the kids and all of us, we started taking same food. When a food can be given to a kid, that is the most healthiest thing that we all can eat. So that is how we started adapting the thing. So we started adapting innovative recipes at home, and my wife started giving her own time to see how a healthy version of dosa can be made, or how can I make a better version of your dal khichdi, or what is the best ingredients that I can add. So that is how we started doing a sustainable practice. So I didn't ask them to make anything separately for me, so that it helped us a lot to maintain that for a longer term. And second most important thing is conscious monitoring of our diet. One of the key success is that even in businesses, we all monitor growth, right? So when we launch a project, we continuously monitor the progress of it. If we make a change in it, the monitoring and control is very, very important. One of the key factors is that you have to monitor your weight every day in the morning, empty stomach. If we are afraid to monitor the weight every day morning, you must know that there is something really wrong that is happening in your diet or in your health, because we all know we are all very self-conscious about our health. But if you're not ready to watch your weight after a previous day's diet, then you must really understand that there is something really wrong happening in your diet or in your healthy practices. So continuously monitor your health, and do not avoid social gatherings. Some people say that because they are getting into a diet, they avoid social gatherings, and that doesn't really help. You have to have your social gatherings, but you have to plan your diet for every day. So how you have certain goals to be accomplished in a week for your business, you should also have a plan to accomplish on your health and side. So let's say if it is a weight loss, I want to reduce 1.5 kg of weight this week. So how are you doing it every day? So is it like suddenly you have a plan that you need to attend certain wedding or something? You have to eat in a social gathering. Obviously, you have to eat it. Then how are you going to compensate it? So this term is a special term that I have developed for myself: compromise and compensate. When you compromise, following day you compensate. So suppose if you don't have an option to compromise, to keep a diet on one particular day, compensate that on the following day. Immediately you rectify from what the mistakes you have done. Or you say that you taken almost 2,500 calories a day. How can you come back to the regular calories, or how can you get back to the previous healthy calorie intake is what you should do. So keep this in mind. Fix a goal, plan, have a control on it, continuously monitor your progress, and always have this in mind. Whenever you have a compromise, you all have to compensate. So don't detach yourself from any social gatherings, since because you are following certain diet. Being an entrepreneur, that is very important, that you have to have client meetings. Sometimes we need to check with a lot of other gatherings. So that is very important. We cannot completely skip the social gatherings. Apart from this, this is if you are not able to take a wholesome diet, I have given you a clear picture of how the label should be read when you take a processed food from the market. So let's say if I've given a couple of indications here. This one on the right hand side, there is a cookie that says no added sugar in here. But if you zoom in and check the nutritional label, that says added sugar of 14.3 grams. So how does it work? So they said that there is no added sugar, but in the nutritional label, it says 14.643 grams of sugar. The reason being, our monitoring body of FSSAI, they doesn't have a proper name for this sugar category. Sugars is in any carbohydrate that is getting converted into an energy source is calculated as sugar, technically. But you don't have to mention that in the label. So what they have mentioned there is white sugar, but they have added jaggery into it. This jaggery also, technically speaking, it comes as a sugar. So I would say white sugar gives you 4.5 calories per gram. Jaggery also delivers the same thing. Your honey also delivers the same thing. Now, it all depends upon how you are going to, somebody say that, you want to reduce the calorie intake. I'm going to skip white sugar. I'm going to take honey. doesn't make any difference, or jaggery doesn't make any difference. On the other hand, there is this one on the top. They have also mentioned, see, it contains non-caloric sweetener, but they have mentioned a term name called as maltitol. This maltitol is a sugar alcohol. When I say alcohol, it is not a proper alcohol. It is fermented from glucose. So this maltitol also delivers 3 calories per gram of maltitol. So it is not even lesser than, it's lesser than white sugar, but it also delivers 3 grams of calories. So you must all be aware of these things. So when you pick a product, particularly when you look for a healthy segment of a product, you must really be aware of how these terms are put up in the market. And particularly when it comes to the claims, if it shows high fiber, source of protein, this is very important term. You can also educate your friends. When they say rich, it covers at least 10% of your RDA. When they say source, it covers 5% of your RDA. So when they say source and rich, don't be confused that the product delivers you everything. It only gives you what the recommended dietary allowance is. Or if they say source, it covers only 5% of your recommended dietary allowances. So these are some of the points that I want to highlight to you when it comes to choosing the right processed food. So before we get onto this slide, I want to show you slide number 5 because we have a lot of new audience today. So I've asked some of our audiences, like, what is the key cause that people don't look into their health, particularly entrepreneurs, and what are the root cause of the problem? So after having a lot of scientific, research papers being read and our self-assessment, what I identified the root causes being, we don't have a vision, we lack in our goal setting, we lack of determination, we lack of self-control, and the progress monitoring. Does it really ring that these are the major parameters that also, are focused as a key performance indicators in our business? Yes, that is the key performance indicators for your health as well. Being in entrepreneurship, being a self-employed person, self-discipline is very, very, very important. And that is how you keep track of everything. If you lose control of any of these things with yourself, then obviously, you cannot do a healthy business on the other side. So I have come up with this Venn diagram. So when you want to do an overall success of a balanced business, entrepreneurship, and then your health, so this is how it has to be. A self-care, food, your lifestyle, and your work have to balance everything together. Otherwise, if you lose even one of this, another two will obviously fall off. So that is the major thing that you all have to remember. So having said that, I'm going to conclude saying that the fruits of self-care integration, I have put my own slides here. I was almost weighing around 130 kilograms in the month of May 2023. Having realized that I have been once I started my entrepreneurial journey, I parallelly started working about my health as well. December 2025, this is me, and still maintaining that and trying to achieve my ideal weight soon. I've given this picture image because I was always having a goal to, how to reduce that down every week. Continuously, I've been assessing my progress. And if there is some hindrance in the pathway, I have always been finding some alternative route. And consistency is very, very important in maintaining that. If you don't do that, you lose hope on yourself, and then that will again, lead you to the destructive path. And commitment, and always say goodbye to the distractions, and always have a focus on your work plan. So with this, I'm going to end my presentation session, and I thought, we'll have a group session so that we'll have a group discussion on any of these presented things. If you have any doubts, we can discuss here.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for the presence today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, brother, you can stop sharing. I'll share the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, an excellent session, especially with your personal story also in that. And if you say from May to December, it's like about 8 months time. 8 months time
Yes.
from 130 to coming to, I think what you were 70 when you came down, 70, what,
No. It was around 98. I'm still going on to
98.
the ideal weight. Yes.
Oh, excellent. I mean, but the picture,
Yeah.
there is huge movement
Yeah.
from 130 to that. That's really amazing.
Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing. And self-discipline, as you said, everything finally boils down to that. Ultimately, yeah.
Correct.
Thank you very much for sharing. So now it is time for contribution. If any of you would like to add something, ask questions, but before you do that, please tell your name, your company name, where are you from, your category, in a short introduction, 15 seconds, and then you contribute so that everybody knows who you are, where you're from, and so that it'll be easy to network also. So, yeah. So, Nirmal sir, yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
I am Nirmal. My brand name is Bratma. I am at Kolkata, and my category is garment manufacturing and printing. Now, I have some question to Tim.
Yes, sir.
Whether he stopped full sugar or jaggery, those 3, 4, 5 months, what you did?
Well, sir, I had a restricted sugar intake. I always prefer to take a fresh cup of coffee every day morning with full sugar. I always did that in all the 8 months of time. And after that, I was having a complete restriction on the entire day. I used to have 3 to 4 coffees in a day with sugar, but I started taking coffee without sugar in the rest of the day. I didn't stop taking coffee. I was continuously monitoring on my calories. Even if that is like the third coffee is going to increase my day calorie, I stopped it. I went into a black coffee without sugar. Still satisfies my craving, but it doesn't add any calories to my body. So that is how I maintained it.
What about other foods like wheat, uh, rice,
Uh,
potatoes?
Right. Okay. So what I did was I changed from simple carbohydrate like your polished rice, suji, and everything. I went into a complex carbohydrate. I switched from rice to millets. So this millet transformation was also a great, very, very, very great input for me to maintain my health. Till now, we are doing it. We have innovated a lot of our own biryani version also with millets. We have started making dalias, khichadis, and everything with millets. Now even my kids started enjoying it. Now one of the key things we did was like we stopped buying rice for our monthly provision. We restricted from 25 kg to 5 kg for a month. So now obviously, then we had other options to look into. We had jowar, bajra, even the rotis and everything we started making with millets instead of wheat.
Yeah. No, I have same questions. I am eating millets, but I am not able to reduce my weight.
Right.
And sugar intake is very, very less. I don't take sugar in tea and all that, but yes, definitely sometime one piece of sweet. But I don't know, and I have eaten rice in once in a I eat rice in once in a month.
Okay.
And neither I take wheat. I don't know what to do. My weight is at present 92 or 93. And I
Okay.
want to reduce it, but I am unable to reduce it. What should I do? What is your solution?
Sir, I would suggest that first you need to consult with the
Millet we are eating.
dietitian. Okay, do you have a dietitian in control? Because to some extent, if the weight is not being reduced after you follow all these things, then our body must be analyzed for our hormones and other functions as well.
Acha.
So anyone after 60s, I would suggest that our weight loss or even control of any diet must definitely come through a dietitian and through a physician.
Okay.
Yeah, you should maintain that with the recommendations from them.
Very good,
Thank
very
you.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can say one thing. Dalia is very good, very good. Everyone should eat
Yes.
this. These are very good to
Yeah,
eat.
I recommend all our members to try millets for your regular food and whatever you take. I mean, instead of white rice, just cook any one of the millet, try it. It turns out to be really nice. Maybe for first couple of weeks, you may feel that it's a bit odd, but once you start getting adapted to it, it's an amazing transformation that we all get.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yes. And having said that, I don't restrict rice at all, sir. Once in a week or twice in a week, I do take white rice. I don't recommend people to completely, avoid rice. Rice is must for us because we've been grown by eating rice. So it should also be a part of our diet, but restricted, have a better complex carbohydrate than a simple carbohydrates.
Thank
And
you.
same with fats as well. Look for more unsaturated fats, right? So use sesame oils, mix your sunflower oil with sesame oil combinations. Ghee, obviously, though ghee are claimed to be really healthy, and it is healthy, but have some restriction on it because it gives you quite a lot of saturated fats into your body.
Thank you. I think if anyone else has any question, does anyone else has any contribution or question? You can ask now.
I think Shamini just appeared.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sajjan. I'm from Learn Lifelong Company, and I'm located in Bangalore.
Okay.
The company provides services in training, coaching, mentoring, and counseling. My question is about the sugar part that you mentioned. That even if you replace white sugar with brown sugar or honey, the calorie is the same. So
Yes.
apart from the calorie part,
Mhm.
if we look at the harmfulness of the ingredient itself, is there a difference? Like white sugar is a processed sugar and it
Right.
is more harmful for the body, is what is generally told. Is it
Mhm.
so? Is there a difference that way, apart from
Okay,
calorie?
so yes, sir, I can. What happens is like people have made a propaganda about white sugar have been the most one of most ingredient which has been 100% processed and has a lot of this processed derivatives into it. But these days, your honey and your jaggery, everything has been processed. You don't get anything unprocessed straight from farm. I would suggest if you're really looking for a transformation with sugar, reduce your white sugar intake itself. Why do you still look for an alternative option which is anyway similar to what the white sugar is? If you really find the residues, pesticide residue or heavy metal residue from any of the other healthy versions of sugar that they say, it is almost similar to that of white sugar. So in our development, when somebody wants to launch a product without white sugar, we convince them saying we'll reduce white sugar and we'll make a product rather than adding all these polyols and everything into it, which is not even part of our diet some 10, 20 years back. Now being a healthier version of these products, particularly post-COVID, these new things have come up, but these new things are much more processed than your white sugar.
Okay. And then similarly, between white rice and boiled rice, is there a difference?
Obviously, there is, white rice and boiled rice, is it?
I think you're saying
Yeah.
brown rice, a Kerala rice.
Kerala rice, is it?
Yeah. Brown rice is actually
that is
different.
obviously a difference, sir. There is obviously a difference. Boiled rice has got a lot of your micronutrients and some content of fiber still attached to it, right? But your white rice is completely polished. It is taken into a more simple carbohydrate source. When you take the brown rice or black rice or whatever rice, it still has some fiber, dietary fiber attached to it, and that gives you a complex version of carbohydrates.
Thank you.
Thank you
Is that
very much.
clear?
Anyone? Yeah. Brother Sajjan, you want to ask anything else or you're through?
Yeah, I'm through. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to ask any questions? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So let's move on. So please invite your friends if you feel such sessions adds value to entrepreneurs, business owners, business leaders. Please do invite them. And if you have something to share with all of us, you feel there's something that you can help all of us with, please let me know. You can take up one of these sessions. And we have other support systems also. These are books that I would strongly recommend for someone who is starting and trying to grow their business. These are books, of course, classic books, which are for if you would like to speak into large organizations and how they are run. So these are books I would recommend. Please share your questions in the group, also in the WhatsApp group, and we can have discussions there also. And thank you all very much for joining. I hope it was a wonderful session for everyone. Good night and have a great week ahead. Yeah, Syamini, go ahead. Yeah, you can
Shamini
introduce
wants to.
yourself.
Hi everyone, how are you all?
Yeah,
All
hi,
good,
good
thank you.
evening.
Okay, my name is Shamini. I'm from Dubai. Hello, is it
Yeah,
audible?
please go ahead. Yeah, it
Yes,
is
you're
audible.
audible.
Yeah.
Okay. I just started my company on December 2024. my company dealing with the tax and accounting, auditing, and HR solutions we are providing. So I had a wonderful meeting with you. It was very insightful, and thank you for the opportunity. That's
you.
it.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining, and thank you all for joining. Good night and have a great week ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Thank you.